the value of your business comes from your conversion. Because there's a lot of people that can generate lots and lots of traffic. And it doesn't necessarily mean they have any kind of business at all, let alone a thriving business. So traffic you learn, you want to find out who's good at it, you want to find out the correct principles, you want to work with the smartest people you can find, and then you go to the big challenge, I think, is how do you turn these visitors into customers? And that is one of the arts of the direct mail expert, direct marketing expert, and the copywriter. And we're very fortunate today to have one of the great people of that field. Just as a shorthand to give you a sense of his accomplishments in the field, I asked how many people knew David Ogilvy. Most hands went up. David Ogilvy was built, for its time, was the #1 agency, certainly from a prestige point of view. And he was a big believer in direct marketing. And our next speaker, Drayton Bird, created a direct marketing agency in the UK in 3 years from scratch. And when David Ogilvy wanted to expand his operations, and he looked at the UK and he said, okay, how do I get into this market? And his conclusion was, I'll just buy out Drayton and his partners. So how many people know Drayton's books? Great. Oh, excellent. Oh, very good. Very good. I first read one of his books in the public library when I didn't have a dime. And I was trying to sort out direct mail. I was doing a bit of it, and I didn't quite understand it. Everything was very formal and rigid and dry. And then I opened up, I guess it's your classic, the flagship book. And it was like a breath of fresh air. I realized, wow, real people actually do this. This could be fun. And it was a major turnaround point for me. So this is a big event for me. So I hope everybody will give a warm welcome to Drayton Bird.
You know, when you talk, the real pleasure from this sort of thing is to see what's been said about you and how good they make you sound. So you can read that for a bit. Then you have to see what I'm going to talk about. I was astonished because I'm not talking about that at all. What can I tell you? What worries me about this business, well, there are many things that worry about me about this business, such as total incompetence, pretentiousness, jargon and drivel of all kinds. But the thing that really worries me most is that people take it so seriously. And I like to have a bit of fun as I go down the drain at regular intervals. Anyhow, if in the next hour or so I show you some instructive examples, tell you one or two things you may not know, remind you what you do know but don't do, make you think, maybe even change your mind, propose some ideas worth considering, with a few laughs thrown in. You've had those, so you're not going to get any more. Would your time be well spent? Would your time be well spent? Good. Those of you who've already read my books can leave the room now. Because you start thinking, I don't remember him saying that. I'm sure he didn't say that. He said something different, didn't he? I can't remember. You know what marketing is like? It's like teenage sex. You know how it is? Everyone says they're doing it. Not many are. The ones that do it very badly, which is why the average tenure of a marketing director in this country is about 14 months. And if you want to know what he does in those 14 months, I can briefly rehearse it for you. First of all, he gets the job, makes a lot of promises. Secondly, he changes everything his predecessor was doing, whether it was right or wrong. Thirdly, the people who employed him, who know nothing about marketing because they're accountants, and notice that nothing much has happened, and then he gets fired. And then some other idiot goes around and says, what we need is a marketing director. And they never think to ask, is he any good? They just say, have you done the job before? And that's how this sort of thing happens. This was sent to me in my flat in London from Jack Barclay. Dear customer, as a driver of a Bentley or Rolls-Royce, We at Jack Barclay regard you as a member of the Bentley and Rolls-Royce family. With this in mind, it gives us great pleasure to invite you to attend our service clinic event due to take place between blah, blah, blah. And a bit further down it says, we will actually give you a comprehensive inspection of your car, and I can tell you that they charge like the US Cavalry at Jack Barclay, so that's a really good deal. And then they say they'll answer any questions I may have. And then further down, I can actually have a test drive of the new Bentley Continental GT. Of course, I lost interest when I realised that they weren't interested enough in me to actually mention me by name at the beginning. I should tell you, by the way, that my flat in London at that time was, I think, about 127 yards away from Jack Barclay's. And I knew the service manager. And my wife knew all the mechanics. And I'd had a Rolls-Royce or a Bentley since 1980. But they didn't know my name. And this is what happens in marketing. And one of the great things about the newer technology is the ability to recognize people and treat them appropriately, which is really what it's all about.